The heat on the tarmac in Bogota is suffocating, but it isn't the Colombian humidity that has Prince Harry sweating through his linen shirt. It is the silence, the deafening absolute zero silence coming from London. We are watching a slow-motion diplomatic collision, a car crash of protocol and hubris happening in real time. What you are seeing on the nightly news, the smiles, the salsa dancing, the motorcades cutting through traffic, is a meticulously curated mirage. Behind the tinted windows of the armored SUVs, the atmosphere is toxic. The air is thick with the scent of desperation and the burning ozone of a brand in freefall. We are witnessing the quasi-royal tour, a rogue diplomatic mission that has pushed the House of Windsor from irritation to cold, calculated erasure. This is not a vacation, this is a survival strategy, and it is failing. Before we tear apart the timeline of this disaster, you need to understand what is actually at stake. We aren't just talking about bad PR. We are talking about the potential revocation of status, the final severing of the line. If you believe the palace is just going to let this shadow court continue to operate, you haven't been paying attention. Hit that subscribe button right now. Do it. Because the mainstream media is too afraid to tell you what the Foreign Office is whispering in the dark corridors of Whitehall. Here is the question I want you to answer in the comments. Is this a noble charity mission, or is it a diplomatic insurrection? Vote now. Let's go to the ground. It is Thursday, 8:42 a.m. The convoy leaves the Hyatt. It is a 13-car procession, a level of security usually reserved for a G7 summit. But who is paying for it? We have obtained reports suggesting the localized security costs for a 72-hour window in this region are exceeding $185,000. That is not pesos, that is US dollars. The burn rate of the Sussex operation is staggering. Inside the lead vehicle, sources describe a tense, almost breathless environment. Harry is checking his phone, not for texts from friends, but for news updates. He is scanning the headlines, looking for the validation that used to come automatically. Meghan is reportedly focused entirely on the optics, directing the videographer who has been embedded with them, a fly on the wall for a documentary that may never see the light of day if the money runs out. At 11:15 a.m., they arrive at a local school. The cameras click, the shutters sound like machine gun fire. For a moment, the old magic flickers. The children smile. Harry kneels, his face softening into that familiar charming mask we knew a decade ago. But watch the footage closely. Look at his eyes when the camera isn't directly on him. They dart to the perimeter. He is a man under siege, haunted by the ghosts of security threats, real and imagined. He is a prince without a kingdom, playing the role of a statesman while the actual state ignores him. Meanwhile, 5,000 miles away in London, the reaction is terrifyingly precise. It is 4 p.m. in Westminster. The gray suits, the terrifyingly efficient bureaucracy behind the crown, are not panicking. They are filing paperwork. We have heard whispers of a confidential memo circulating within the Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Office. The subject line is redacted, but the content is clear. Clarification of status. Embassies are being quietly briefed. The message is blunt. They do not represent His Majesty. Facilitate, but do not endorse. This is the ice wall. King Charles is not throwing plates. Prince William is not texting his brother in anger. They are simply turning off the lights. They are denying the oxygen of officialdom. When the Vice President of Colombia greets the Sussexes, she is greeting private citizens. The palace has ensured that no Union Jacks are flying in an official capacity. It is a snub so subtle and yet so violent, it chills the blood. Let's perform the financial autopsy of this tour. Why are they doing this? Why fly to Nigeria? Why fly to Colombia? Follow the money. The Spotify deal is dead. The Netflix contract hangs by a thread, a sword of Damocles waiting to drop in 2025. The advance for Spare has been spent. The Montecito mansion requires roughly $6,000 a day just to keep the lights on, the grounds watered, and the security detail paid. They need content. They are selling access to a royalty they no longer possess. They are trading on a currency that is devaluing by the hour. Every handshake in Bogota is a desperate attempt to show Hollywood that they still matter, that they can still command a world stage. But Hollywood agents, the ruthless power brokers at WME, are looking at the numbers. They see the engagement dropping. They see the fake royal narrative taking hold. A source close to their production team describes a scene from the hotel suite on Friday night. It is 11:30 p.m. Room service has been cleared away. The mood is funereal. Harry is allegedly pacing the balcony, staring out at the city lights. He is discussing the security optics with his team. He is obsessed with the idea that he is a target. But the tragedy is, the biggest threat to Harry right now isn't a sniper, it's irrelevance. Meghan is on the phone, not with the director, but with the architects of their new lifestyle brand. The launch has been sluggish. The trademark applications are bogged down in bureaucracy. She is trying to build an empire on shifting sand. They need this tour to look like a triumph. They need the photos to scream global leaders. But without the royal rota, without the official stamp of the monarchy, it looks like a high-budget reality show. It looks like cosplay. And then comes the ultimatum. Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Reports are surfacing of a back-channel communication, not a letter on palace stationery, but a verbal message delivered through an intermediary. The message is simple: stop. The rumors indicate that the royal family is considering the nuclear option. If these quasi-royal tours continue, if they continue to inspect guards of honor and play the national anthem as if they are sovereigns, the question of their titles will be back on the table. Not just the HRH, which is already in abeyance, but the dukedom itself. The threat is existential. If they lose the title Sussex, they are just Harry and Meghan. And in the brutal calculus of the American media market, Harry and Meghan are worth significantly less than the Duke and Duchess. The contrast is heartbreaking. While Harry sweats in a suit in the tropics trying to look important, Prince William is in Cornwall. He is wearing a jumper. He is shaking hands with a farmer. There is no massive convoy. There is no desperate camera crew. He looks relaxed. He looks secure. He looks like the future. The silence from the Wales family is the loudest noise in the room. They don't need to compete. They won the war simply by staying home and doing the job. As the plane taxis for departure on Sunday, the exhaustion is palpable. They have survived another tour. They have generated the headlines. They have fed the beast. But at what cost? Harry looks tired. Not physical tiredness, but a deep, soul-weary exhaustion. He has burned the bridge, blown up the foundations, and now he is standing on the other side, realizing there is no way back. The fortress of Montecito is not a sanctuary. It is a gilded cage. The bills are piling up. The friends are disappearing. The family is gone. Was it worth it? Look at the images again. Look past the smiles. Look at the clenched jaw of the prince who walked away from 1,000 years of history to sell jam and document his own alienation. This isn't a liberation. This is a liquidation sale of a legacy. They are running out of countries to visit. They are running out of secrets to sell. And the world is watching, waiting for the moment the music finally stops. This is the end game. Stay tuned.